been a hot mess day here. But we are all each other's success partners, and we are super excited to talk to you guys tonight about Elite and Premier and all this stuff, because I can guarantee you none of us would have done these things if it wasn't for one another and pushing each other to really go for it. And I want to just start, and I'm going to really ask you guys to please do this. Like, drop this in the chat. I won't make you say it out loud, but I really want you to put in here in the chat why you're on this call tonight. Like, if you want to be elite and don't have a clue what it is, that's okay. But I really want you to, I'm sorry. Hey guys, you need to go into faces. I really want you to share, like, what's the big reason? Because I know that when I first heard about Elite, I had no clue what it was, but I just saw people getting all these pretty flowers and fancy things, and I felt like, I want to be a part of that, and I don't really even have a team, but I want to do it. So drop your big dreams below, because what we're going to do tonight for you guys on this call is break it down and show you exactly what this means, why you want to do this for your business, and also like how to do it, especially if you are a newer coach. I don't want you to, for a second, rule these things out this year, because there are coaches who hit these goals in their first year in the business. And so my husband is coming, so that's perfect. I'm going to duck out. Hey, Ben, dinner's on the stove. Sorry. Real life, guys. It has been a hot mess of a parenthood day today, and I'm going to hide from my children. Okay, so I'm glad I'm seeing these come in. That's perfect. But before we do that, before we jump into that, we want to congratulate you guys. Seriously, there are phenomenal teams in here, and I know that maybe you were at Super Saturday and got shouted out, or maybe you weren't, or maybe you were at your Super Saturday and they didn't shout you out. But I want to just start, before we get into all these details and kind of talking about all these big dreams, I just want to congratulate you guys. Like, you rocked last year, and you changed so many people's lives. Like, just stop and think about the work that you got to do. And maybe it was just a couple people, maybe it was your own, but like, truly just soak in, you are the 1%. Like, most people in this business don't even do what you did. And so you might be sitting here saying like, well, I'm only an Emerald coach, or I'm only a coach, but you're on this call, guys. And so congratulations to you. We would not have put this call together. We would not have spent the last couple days masterminding together about this if we did not believe that you had what it takes to go to the next level, because we saw what you did this year. And we are just so stinking proud of you. We are so proud to be your leaders. We could not do this without you. And I can speak on behalf of everyone on this call that all of us, any success that we have means literally 200 times more when we can share it with you. And we can share the stage with you, and we can do this together. We don't want it to be the Abby or the Rachel or the Jess or the Mackenzie show. Like, we want it to be us as our teams and support you with that. So congratulations. Like, seriously, just give yourself a pat on the back, or go give yourself a shot of Energizer so to celebrate. But we are going to dive in right now. First, we'll just kind of break this down together of like, what is this thing, and why do you want it? And as we're going, I think it will make sense, but please drop questions below so that we can be sure to answer them for you, because I know when I was a brand new coach, I was like, what the heck is this? I don't even know. So I'm going to mute myself. I can't remember who's taking this topic, but hopefully someone else knows.
Who does have this? What is Elite and Premier?
Yeah, maybe Mackenzie. Is she on? I can do this.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Go, Megan.
Passed it to
I'll
you.
take it. I hope you guys like the fact that I'm in my pajamas. I got changed, and I was like, oh, crap, call. And then I was like, you know what? I actually built Elite every year in pajamas late at night with like a really fuzzy blanket. So I felt like it was actually kind of fitting to just leave the red checkered Christmas jammies on. So to those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Blanket. I am super excited to be teaming up with all the other ladies to talk about this tonight. I am proud to say I'm the leader of a 4-time Elite team, which has been like an incredible journey these last couple years. We didn't hit it this last year, but I have been just amazed by the amount that everyone has risen together, even though we didn't hit it last year, and the determination to make sure we do clinch it this year. So either way you look at it, there are so many things that can be of value to you wherever you are. So for me, what drove me to want to be elite? I wanted the recognition. I knew that there was pay perks that went along with it, and that was cool. But I honestly was a stay-at-home mom when I got started with this, and nobody was patting me on the back when I changed a dirty diaper or when I managed to get my kids down for a nap or anything like that. So to me, I love the recognition. I joke around with one of my girlfriends who also didn't get elite this year, and I'm like, I'll send you flowers if you send me mine, and then I'll send you a jacket and you send me one, because I actually truly love the little presents that much. So I even told my husband, I was like, if you see me sad, go grab me some roses, because I might need a little bit of pick me up. But that's truly one of the things that I wanted. I saw whenever people would go on these trips that, you know, you get these little extra things. So if you're driven by the like extra touch of love, this is something that really stood out to me. You know, when you're at Summit, you get a paid hotel room and you get like little extra perks. Like you've got priority registration on things. You get a special elite night at all the summits, and they're crazy. Like we've done everything from the Indy 500 Speedway in New Orleans. We had this like gospel singing. I forget what it even was. Like they find the coolest warehouses and they turn them into these phenomenal like events that you swear would have only been in like some sort of fancy Hollywood show, and they're actually how they're spoiling all of us. So they do go above and beyond, because they do recognize that it takes that above and beyond effort that you put into it. They always send the roses in January right after they announce it. They send jackets of some form or fashion. I've got a raincoat, a winter coat, sweaters, sweatshirts, like everything. They really do take pride in giving us like those little things. Now, beyond that, you also get to be able to say you lead an elite team. And every one of you on here, if you're part of an elite team, be proud of that. Because until I led my own, I always shared that I was part of an elite team. We are also part of the 4-time top team. Those things may not be you specifically, but they are you as a team. And that was something I always leaned on in the beginning. And I love being able to say that I was part of an elite team, that I wanted to own, that I led it too. So it's kind of a stepping stone for me. I was proud to be on it, and then I wanted to lead it. And being able to say that was a big driver for me as well. Things like the Success Club trip, they always have little special parties for that, and you get priority registration. So anyone who's elite actually already registered for the Success Club trip today for next year, and then all Premier coaches get to register tomorrow. Again, giving you one little leg up to get into the little events. We also have a 5-star diamond line, which I think this of all the things was something I was like, I have my own customer service. And by all means, they're not mine, but I feel like they are. So we have what is called the diamond line that you get access to once you're a 5-star. And it gives you basically priority with customer service. So if you have an issue, you get to go directly to someone who really knows their stuff. Not that our customer service isn't all fabulous, but it's not always perfect. The diamond line will really make sure that you get what you need, and make sure you guys know, as part of an elite team, if you have an issue, you can leverage your upline coach to make calls. I can't tell you how many times I've had issues where a coach's Success Club points weren't showing, or, customer service told them they didn't qualify for this, but they did. And together we're able to get on with that diamond line and have access to be able to get resolved whatever needs resolved. We also have what's called the wall. Oh, no, it's not called the wall anymore. The round table is what it's called. And the round table group is for 5-star diamond and above. And it is big. So all 5-star diamond and above coaches. I think at this point there's a 650, 700 coaches maybe in there. And people just share. You learn about, like, anytime something comes out in the breaking news, we found out about it the day before. They kind of prep us a little bit. They talk to us a little bit more, knowing we're the leaders of the organization, so that we get the knowledge, so that we can then make sure we're preparing our downlines for anything that's coming out. Stephanie, you don't get access to the diamond line as Premier unless you are 5-star. So the roundtable group and the diamond line phone things, those aren't just elite. That is 5-star. That's kind of like a rank thing, which kind of falls a line. I know, I guess to me it was always tied one and the same, but they are different. You can be a 5-star and have access to those things without actually having elite in the Premier status. What else perk-wise? I feel like those was that everything. I don't know if you guys can think of anything that I missed, but to me, like, I think you have to think about what it is that would drive you. Oh, and the last thing before you said SE bonuses, there's a 5-star elite bonus. So if you qualify for elite, so let's say I'm a 2020 elite coach, every month in the following year, you have the ability to earn a $500. They call it a car bonus. So if you've ever seen like an R-Barn representative be like, I'm rocking my Mercedes because I did this thing, that's essentially like they're like an elite coach. At least in my mind, that's how I parallel the two. It's called our car bonus, and I imagine from a legal standpoint, that's what they have to call it. But it's a $500 bonus. Choose as you wish of what you would like to do with it. But that's $6,000 in a year. So I am a former accountant. The CPA was always something that like stuck with me, even though I don't necessarily practice. And to me, that was like, well, if you take into consideration the 5-star bonus, if you just look at this one, it's 2,000. The one before that was 7. So we'll call it $3,000 a quarter. If you got that bonus, $3,000 4 times in the year for being 5-star, and you're also elite and you get $500 a month, that's $18,000. I think one year my total was $21,000 that I got in bonuses, income disclaimer, it's all ability, just whatever. But $21,000 that wasn't tied to my commissions or my cycle bonuses for my team, that was all on top of it. And that was that eye opener that I was like, 20, what? Like, what could I do with that much money? And it motivated me. So income, recognition, extra team parties, and, you know, private exclusive social things at events, all those are many different things that can help, you know, get in your mind, if that's a goal of yours, to really push through it.
And
Am I still talking
do you
about
want to
this?
explain, Megan, or I can really quick actually. So the Star Diamond bonus right here, guys, these are not tied to elite or premier. This is your rank. So if you are a 2-star diamond coach, you get the double star. If you are a 5-star, but how this works, and this is a screenshot from a coach who was a 15-star superstar diamond last year, but just to show you the potential. And how this works is you get everything below you. So if you're a 2-star, every 6 weeks, if you hold that rank for 6 weeks in a quarter, you get a percentage of the income that the company has brought in. They reserve a pot of it. So if you were a 2-star coach, you would have gotten an extra $787 that quarter. If you were a 5-star coach, you would have gotten $2,100 and $787. So you can kind of see how it all stacks. And if you're a 15-star diamond, you're getting $24,000, then you're getting 10, and this is insane. And so this is quarterly. And I think that I didn't know these numbers existed as a new coach. And I can tell you, if I did, I'd have worked a heck of a lot harder to start hitting 2-star and 5-star than I did. So I think it's just important for you guys to see the potential that's out there. And that's what this call is here to help you guys kind of get to.
And just so you're aware, those numbers are there. It's actually the company gives back 2% of their profits. So it's like not, I mean, that's where the money is coming from. So it varies every quarter. It can change. I've had like a 2-star bonus that could be, you know, 7, it could be 1,000. It's all directly tied to the products or the profits. So they don't have to do that. That's just something that like Beachbody takes 2% off their net profits of the year and gives, or quarter, and gives it back to us. Which I think is just a cool thing to note because they don't have to do that, and they do.
All right, it's Kelly and I next. All right. Oh, good. There's descriptions. It's like, is it just a picture? All right. So hello, it's Kelly and the Anita show. I don't know. We don't know what we know what we're talking about. But so we're just gonna go back and forth with this because for me, if you guys don't know, I'm Anita. I am a 2-time premier coach now, and some of my team is on here. Hey, ladies. And so I remember when I first hit Team Builder, like after like hitting Consistent Success Club and everything, I was like, what's next? How can I start like gearing myself up so that I have direction versus just saying elite, because I had elite on my goal board for a couple of years. And I was like, I want to be an elite coach. And I had no idea what that even meant, right? Like, and that's okay. Now I know because I just kind of like dove in and figured it out. And so for Team Builder, oh my gosh, like obviously you're doing essentials, you're hitting Success Club, you're starting to recruit coaches. Maybe you have like, I know for me, when I hit Team Builder the first time, gosh, it's been a while. I think I maybe had 1 or 2 working coaches, but I was a pretty solid emerald. Oh my gosh, I can't even like, I'm like brain farting on the specifics of Team Builder.
Hey, it's at the bottom of the it's at the bottom of the presentation if she wants to scroll down.
Okay, yeah.
I have it too. Hi guys, I'm Kelly.
Down here.
Introduce myself too.
Yeah.
So,
Go for it.
yeah, if you want to do the one thing that I want to say about these like kind of benchmarks for me is that I think there's so much stuff going on, or you can have such big goals that it's so easy to get overwhelmed with it all. And so this is a good way to take it back to the basics. Like, you obviously have your daily vitals, but then like, what are you working towards to advance your business, instead of, like Anita said, just saying, I want a lead or I want 10-star. Like, what are the different aspects that are driving your business forward for a well-rounded business that's going to carry you forward? So thinking about things such as rank, the leadership points, leadership development, meaning who are you bringing onto your team? What sort of coaches are you growing? And then also your week leg volume, and thinking about, you know, what sort of product you're producing too. So for team builder, you have to be a diamond. And so it grows from each one. So if you look at that first column, team builder there, it's diamond. You have to have 25 leadership points. You have to produce at least one new emerald, and then you need 1,000 on your week leg volume. And
that's over the course of 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Yeah. So in the 5 weeks. So it's like $200. I'm bad at math. Yeah. So like, honestly, even like going back with that, a new emerald, that could be a spouse account. You know, if you don't have a spouse at emerald yet, I know that was for me in Team Builder the first time. And then leadership points just kind of come with onboarding new customers, you know? And if like anybody doesn't understand the leadership points like completely, if you want to like drop a question in the comments, please feel free at any time too, for anything. Sorry, I just kind of took back over, Kelly. But like, if you have a coach hitting Success Club, I think we're going to start talking about that in a minute too. But like that is where you'll get 2 points. If you hit Success Club and you have a new coach from 2019 or 2020 hit Success Club, you get 2 points. New customer and coach volume that come in for 19 and 20, that's for every 500 PV, you get a point with that. And that might not sound like a lot, but over time it accrues. And that's always my biggest category. And I think that's probably the same for a lot of people in here. You know, I think
yeah,
that's
I think
like, right?
like, for me, whenever I was starting out with coaching, like I was just so in love with what I was doing, and I was just inviting to challenge groups and having fun, and I just did it for the hobby part. I mean, I was trying to grow a business, but it was a hobby too, and so I wasn't like being as smart about my business as a business owner as I could have been. And then when I sat down and thought about it, I'm like, no, I want to grow this. Like, I want to do more than what I'm just doing now. Where can I grow? And so I went to these categories and I looked and said, okay, yeah, I'm a diamond, but you know, I haven't produced any new emeralds lately, or my week leg volume is really low. And it just tells you like, okay, maybe you have the new coaches you're bringing onto your team, but you haven't been talking about volume as much. So you can do things with your team to increase volume and stuff like that. So it just really gives you benchmarks to know like, okay, where am I doing really good and what am I working on that could use a little bit of improvement, and you just go from there. But I know like these numbers really sort of overwhelmed me in the beginning, and it's not meant
to be
growth.
overwhelming. There we go.
If you're doing the basic things that your upline are telling you to do, and you're inviting and you're making sure you're not just inviting to the challenge groups, but also to coaching and bringing people in like that, it's going to kind of naturally fall into place. But you know, we're business owners and we need to take responsibility for that and see where we measure up to. So
yeah, and a lot of this is like Beachbody wanting your rank to correlate with your income too, because if you're doing these things, your income's going to increase.
And you can check all this in your back office, guys. Like, and I think, Rachel, are you going to talk about that, or like where?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Y'all want me to go ahead? Yeah, Kelly's showing y'all something.
Next year too. Will they do that next year?
I don't know. It's really cool.
So it's fun to see yourself like achieve those things as you go, but.
Yeah. And you know, like there's a really, really good video in the Coach Online office. If you go to Road to Elite, like they've done an excellent job of walking you through this as well. It's from last year, so you have to just replace all the years with your current years. But, you know, I think it's cool because like no matter, you could be a brand new coach today and you could be a team builder, you know, next. You could hit team leader. Like, I think that, you know, you are, yes, we're talking premier and elite because those are definitely the elite statuses that you can get with this business, but everybody's a leader. And I think that no matter what your goals are for this year, like your first goal should definitely, I mean, we all have to start at nothing. Like, we're all coaches right now. Nobody on this call is a team leader. Even though we hit elite last year, we all start over. So we're all working through this with you. And I think that's really cool that, that we do have to do it together. So if you want me, Abby, if you want to scroll on, I will break it down. This next slide, I think, is just like a pretty image of the elite thing somebody shared with us, and we can share it with you. But what I wanted to do was to really show you, what does it look like? Like, how do you earn these points? Okay. And so I've got like 3 different slides. Let's just say they represent 3 different months. Okay. But this is how you earn leadership points. And somebody said something about it being called leadership points. Yes, they changed it because this is a leadership growth opportunity. It's not just, we're not just growing elite, we're growing leaders at each level. Okay. So you do get leadership points. Now, the acquisition PV, and if you go into your Coach Online office, you check your elite status, I'm making up words now. If you check your elite status, like, it will show you how many points you have or don't have from the categories. Don't let it like stop you if you don't have any points. Well, nobody has points right now. So you have 3 ways you can earn leadership points, and you have to earn points from all 3 categories. Again, the whole point of this growth opportunity is Beachbody wants us to be constantly growing our own businesses by bringing in customers and new coaches and helping them create their businesses too. So this is definitely a leadership goal, right? You can't just run a challenge group every month and hit Success Club and not grow leaders and become an elite coach or premier coach. So the 3 categories are acquisition PV, and new personally sponsored coaches who earn Success Club points, and then personally sponsored coaches who hit Success Club. So I'll take you through each of these and just ask questions, and know that you're going to have to hear this all again to really understand it. Okay. Acquisition PV, that is anything that you sell in this year, 2020, to new customers or new coaches. So, well, if you had like a lead from last year and they've never ordered anything and they order something for the first time in 2020, that counts. But it's for new customers and new coach signups. That goes towards your acquisition PV. Every time that you hit 500 PV from those new customers or coaches, you get 1 leadership point. So I just gave an example. So say you sell 3 challenge packs this month and you don't have any carryover volume, but you sell 3 challenge packs at 150 PV each, that gets you at 450 PV. You don't get a point for that because you didn't hit the 500 mark. But that 400 PV carries over to February. Okay. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. This is just an example of a month. Let's say that you have 1 new personally sponsored coach. That is a coach that signs up in 2020. And they, in their first month, they get a Success Club point. Don't hit Success Club, but they get 1 Success Club point. You get 1 leadership point for that, because again, Beachbody wants you to help new coaches get some success pretty quickly, because we know that feels good. You sign somebody up, you help them get a challenge pack or Shakeology, and you feel good about where you're going in this business. That just builds that confidence. So you get 1 leadership point for that. For any 2019 or 2020 coach, anybody who signed up as a new coach in 2019 or 2020, they count towards this last category of PS Coach Success Club. Now, whenever you have a personally sponsored coach hit Success Club from this category, you get 1 leadership point. If you hit Success Club as well, they double it. All right. So obviously everybody should have Success Club as a goal first and foremost. That doubles your points in this category. Okay. So I just gave the example. You have 2 new coaches hit Success Club. You've hit Success Club as well. So that's 4 points. So you could earn up to 5 points in this month, right? Let's keep going. This is another example. Let's say you sell 3 challenge packs, 2 orders of Energize, and you have that 400 PV carryover from last month. That gives you 978 volume points, right? So you've passed the 500 mark, you haven't quite hit 1,000, so you get 1 leadership point and the rest carries over, all right? So you just constantly want to, the goal is to bring in new people. If you're hitting Success Club, you're generating volume. If you have people who are recurring customer orders, then that's creating volume as well. So sustainability, long-term investment in your business, that creates these leadership points. Okay, so again, same example. In this month, you have 2 new coaches who sign at least 1 challenger, and you get 2 leadership points. So your brand new coaches in 2020 have their first month to get 1 point. You can't like stack this. You don't get a point every month. They get a Success Club point. You just get that 1 point in their first month. Now, say you have a new coach sign up today. What is today? January 13th. They have until the end of February to actually do this. All right. So it's not like they lose all this time because they sign up later in the month. If they sign up if they signed up January 1st, they actually have January and February to get that first point to count for your leadership points. Okay. So that's important too. So you want to sign up coaches and say, hey, go sign up your spouse, go sign up your mom, go sign up your best friend. That gets that first point on the board for leadership points. And then obviously if they hit Success Club too, you get up to 3 points for that new coach. All right. This is confusing. I know it is, but just stick with it. And so this is just another example. I want to show you guys the value of, yes, hitting Success Club, but also keeping people on Shakeology. Keeping people, getting them to try Energize, a 3-day refresh, beach bars, whatever it is. That generates volume for you, and it also generates, if you've got coaches doing those things, it generates team volume, which counts towards your rank and those markers. So just, you know, a goal of Success Club 6 every month, a goal of running awesome challenge groups every month and keeping your challengers on Shakeology and getting them to try new products, that helps you acquire PV and leadership points, all right? And also the other thing is, as you grow your team this year, which you are gonna do, you're gonna get new coaches every month. If you're bringing new coaches into your business every month and you're helping them get a point and then helping them hit Success Club every month, like track it, like keep up with it and know who counts towards this goal of yours. It doesn't mean that old coaches don't count at all or they don't matter anymore. They just help your team in a different way. But these new coaches help you with these leadership points. So it's important to pour into them, to train them, and honestly, guys, to lead by example. They're not going to hit Success Club if you don't hit Success Club. So that has to be a minimum goal for you at the start. That makes you a good leader. Okay, I think, does anybody have questions about that? And you can go back and look at those visual examples. Yeah, okay, so Megan said, yeah, okay.
I'll just say one thing really quick here too. One thing that I love about this, guys, is that it is not, you cannot grow an amazing business and have it be all about you. Not how many challenge packs you sell and just signing people up. It's truly investing and caring about the people on your team and the leaders. And so you might be sitting here saying, well, I don't even have a team. Well, guess what? You're going to start recruiting and we're going to help you with that. But like, it starts with you mentoring down. And I think that's really, really powerful. So that's all.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I think that, I mean, other people are going to share their story, but I shied away from talking about Elite or Premier or whatever because I always felt like I was making it about me. But like, that's a lie, honestly, that really threatens to keep you from going anywhere or helping your team, because I can't be Elite. Like Rachel cannot be Elite. Like it is a team. Like it is a team, and it's our team name that goes up there for recognition too. And so like, honestly, another thing too is the people on my team didn't think it was possible for them until I did it. So that's powerful. If you're holding on to like, I don't want them to think it's all about me, you're really being selfish by not putting that out there and giving them that belief that they can do it too. So just remember that if those fraudy feelings ever creep in.
Awesome. I think that we're going to turn it over. I know there's a couple people going to share their stories, but I think we asked Megan to go first because all of us took like 3 to 5 years to hit these things, but Megan is a rock star. So she's going to share her story.
Well, thanks. I will say I'm extremely just driven on a goal. Like if you do the Enneagram, I always say I'm a strong Enneagram 3. Like I'm an overachiever. Tell me to hit Success Club 5, I hit 10 my first month. Like I don't do baseline. I never have. That's not how I'm wired. that just, so I think that part of that drive makes a difference. I saw what I wanted. And the whole reason I signed up as a coach was because I was like, she's running a challenge group and I'm in that. I can do that. And I looked at it as simple as that. She recruited me through showing me what she did. I'm doing it. I'm loving it. I'll recruit people through showing them what I'm doing. So I kept it very simple. And my mentality from day one is if she can do it, I can. And I won't lie. I signed up in March and I actually said I could probably go 5-star this year. Like that could happen, right? Like I was on fire in the beginning and I had like a couple coaches sign up. I'm like, well, that girl could go diamond and that girl could, and she could. And then I'll do all these things. And none of those that I thought would, they all quit. And then I did end my first year as a 1-star. And I was like, all right, well, didn't it happen this year? So now I'm just going to set the goal for next year. So the very first year that I went elite, I first put it on the vision board. The vision board is so, and my daughter's been playing with it, but they were all out in my office, but it was on there with 5 stars. And that was my symbolism. I was going to lead a 5-star elite team. So I started that in January. I knew like all those numbers that Rachel just shared, I broke it down. Because I'm a math girl, I'm like, okay, you need this many points and there's 12 months in a year, so I gotta get this many points each month. And I set a benchmark. Didn't always happen. And if I was lower than what I needed, I set a new benchmark. And in February, I was like, okay, there's 11 months left in the year and I need this many points. And I literally strategized it every single month. I tried to do a lot of it on my own. I tried to, like Rachel said, I didn't want to tell people in the beginning. And as I got through the year, I had a couple coaches growing and I did something that scared the bejeebies out of me, and I made a video. And I told them I wanted to lead an elite team for this year and I wanted to know who was in. So I made a YouTube video. If I found it now, it would probably be god awful back in the fall of 2015. But I made a video and I sent it out. And I probably, if I did it today, I would actually post it in my team page. But I was a little too nervous to do that. So I sent out the YouTube link to all the girls who were working in some way, shape, or form. And I told them that this is my goal and this is what I'm going for. Do you want to run with me? So I asked them if they were all in. Once they said yes, I put their names on a banner. I made us a Facebook page that said Megan's Elite Team. And I started like speaking that belief into them and telling them that it was possible. I took up until the last possible minute of the last possible day of 2015 to hit it, but we never stopped. Like it is a team thing. No coach can go elite on their own. And I think that that is so important that if that's your goal, that you start talking about it now. And if you have a team of one, let that one know that you two are going to be the foundation of your elite team and that you're going to keep recruiting. And to me, setting that stage, I've always believed the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So if you can set that if that's what you want, that now helps other people who are watching you believe that it's possible. My coach was an elite coach. I loved that she was an elite coach. And I was like, well, I want to be elite with you. And I just kept believing that I could. I think a lot of it is belief. We get in our own head that we can't do it. And you can. Like it is all the actions we're telling you to do, 10x. I did work really, really hard. I don't want to downplay that because I think that that is actually something that I missed in the early days, being like, just doing the thing. Well, it works. And I was talking about this actually with my mom over the weekend. In those early days, I did have 2 little ones at home. I didn't have another full-time job, but they were plenty of that. So I truly worked my business in the morning before they got up with that glorious 5 a.m. wake-up call. And I sat in my office every single evening looking at that vision board hanging up on my wall from like the 7:30, 8 o'clock time that my tiny children went to bed back then until like 11 o'clock at night. And I knew that this momentum would set the stage for what would follow. And we were able to, and then like that, so we did it that first year, and it was a team celebration. And then it was like, well, I'm going to build on that momentum. So after that first year, there were people, like some people stayed and some people didn't. So I did it again. I made the video again. I made the group again. And I talked to them more regularly about what elite was. And I started tracking it every month and letting people know this is where we stand. It's the first month. We got this many points. We're on track for this. And letting people know what they do. So when a new coach, like now, like what I even did last year, when a new coach would sell a challenge pack, I'd be like, you just earned us an elite point. As a team together, You just earned us one. And I remember I had a girl who like sold one to her sister. She's not even a working coach. That's the only challenge pack she sold. But she knew, super sweet girl, she knew from being in that group that that was going to help us. So she never hit Success Club, but she sold a challenge pack. She's like, hey, my sister-in-law wanted it. I figure I'll just sell her one and that will get you one of those point things. So you never know who wants to be part of it. And if you don't talk about it, then nobody else is going to understand what you're even working towards. It's like the whole, like, if you don't have a destination of where you're going and you try to plug it in your GPS, like you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to go to the wrong place. You have to actually know where you're going and communicate that to people. It was nothing. There was nothing different that I did then that you couldn't do now. It was literally Success Club tracker, daily activities in and out, and speaking belief into the coaches and letting them know what their role is, and how you guys are working towards it, and continuously updating that and not giving up until the very last minute.
So good, Megan. Like, you always light a fire under me. Do you guys have questions for her at all? Like, anything?
I do love numbers, so if you ever want to talk about that, that's my thing.
Drop them in the chat bar or whatever. She's right. It's all about your belief, though.
Well, tell us honestly in the chat bar, like, what are you thinking right now? Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Are you like, what the heck? I know
I
that.
think too, I had to hear things over and over again. Like, if you're like, I want to be elite and premier, and you hopped on this call and you're like, there's a lot of stuff that they just told me, forget it. Like, don't be overwhelmed by it. It's like day one of becoming a coach and you're like, what is all this stuff? It's like, you might need to understand it a little bit more. And the more you do it, like if you get an elite report and like you see it in the back office on your road to elite, because every one of us has a road to elite, you're able to go into that and see, oh my gosh, like that one coach sold one challenge pack. I have 1 point there. And I mean, I have a spreadsheet where I track everything, but like, that's how I did it. I'm like, okay, I've got 19 coaches in a list. And then any 2020 coach goes in that same list. And any one of those people who hit Success Club earn us 2 points. So to me, a lot of this is like learning by doing. Like if it's kind of confusing you now, it might be easier once you start to do and see then like each month, check in your back office how it's going.
Guys, I'm just going to jump in really quickly and say to what Megan is saying, the first thing I want you to do as you're watching this is just have the belief, and I know this has been said, but I just really want to reiterate, like have the belief that you can do it. And, you know, I have been premier 2 times. I did not get elite or premier this year. And I've honestly been giving myself a hard time about it. And then I was like, gave myself a reality check. I'm like, Prasanthi, did you sit down and work for it, or did you wish for it? And if I'm honest, like I worked my butt off. Like my business is my passion, and I believe it's my purpose. But as far as elite and premier, I wished for it. I didn't sit down with my elite tracker and look at where I was and really get purposeful. So today, like it is January 13th. You have this entire year to do this, and you can. So when you get off the call tonight, go in your back office and print out the tracking sheet and have it on your desk and write out, like it will help you to plug in who is earning those points for you, where you're earning those points, and track it. Like if you're like me and you don't track, you have to track this, because you're not just going to wake up. Like I literally at the end of the year was like, maybe I'll just wake up and somehow I had the points. Like maybe they just came, like it's a gift from Beachbody. Like it doesn't work that way. You have to track it, and you have to be purposeful in how you're earning it. And I think too, you know, I, like the other girls have said, like I've been in the place where I'm like, well, I don't want to make them feel like they have to do it because, you know, it's me being a leader, it's me being premier. I think if we, you know, take your leaderboard, everyone loves the shout outs on the leaderboard, take your leaderboard and add in a part that says like 2019, 2020 coaches who helped us earn elite points this month, you know, and shout them out on your leaderboard so they can see that they are in fact earning those points for you. And then that, you have to remember that at this point, like you might think, oh, I'm doing this, you know, so that my team is elite or my team is premier, but no, you're doing it to show them that it's possible for them to do it too. So that's my real message to you today is just number 1, believe that you can do it, like really see that you can do it. And number 2, track it. Like don't just hope it's going to happen, because it's not just going to be like, oh, look how cute she is, we're going to give it to her. Like, no, it's an actual thing that you have to earn. So
And let me just show you guys, because I know a lot of you probably have no clue that this is even in your back office. So you're like, what is this magical elite port they were talking about? If you go into your back office and you go into Monitor My Business and then qualification, it's going to tell you right here. So the Road to Elite qualification is awesome. And this updates the second Friday of every single month. So it's not real time, but once a month, except for in December, they update it all the time. Mine will be completely blank right now because I don't have anything, but it will tell you like, here's what you're missing. Here's what you do have. It will also show you, you know, if you have your leadership points, and it will start telling you. So this is where it is. And I would encourage you just to start looking at that. That's what she was saying, to track. And it will make sense once you see it start to happen, but that is where it is.
One thing I will say on the whole mindset thing that I would encourage you guys to do is, like, if you have listened to any of this call and heard that tiny little voice in your head that said, yeah, but, and you already started making some excuse as to why you can't do it. You don't have enough experience. You're too new. You're too busy. Whatever it is, like, figure out what that little yeah, but is and get to work on it and figure out what personal development you need to do. Find a group or a pod to surround yourself with to help you push past that and to talk through, because my pod was huge for us when we were going for it, and I couldn't have done it without them. But like, for, you know, I've hit elite with our team the past 2 years now, but I've been a coach for 4, and I think those first 2 years I just literally used all my excuses as to why my circumstances were letting me do good enough for where I was. Oh, I have a little baby. Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, I work a full-time job. Like, yes, but so many other elite coaches were in the same position. And I was finally had to get to that point where I drew a line in the sand and said, yes, I am doing good for what I'm doing, but it's not good enough for me. And only you can determine that. If you are happy where you are, then that's great. But if you have that gut feeling that says, I want that recognition, I want to walk on stage, I want to be premier or elite and help other women do this too, then there's no excuse in the book that can stop you. So figure out what it is that's limiting you and what's holding you back, and just get to work. Because mine was my time, and I'm so busy. And then when I finally went part-time, it was like, oh shit, I don't have this excuse anymore. Like, shit's getting real, and now I got to get to work, or people are gonna be like, well, now what's your excuse? And I mean, I could have done it earlier. Like, you just have to breathe that belief. So find out what you're telling yourself and figure it out.
Jess, you want to light the fire? And we can have time for questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think that, I mean, you're going to hear the same things from every single elite coach, right? Like, because the playing field is completely level. Like, right now, you are in the exact same position as Melanie Mitro. Right now, every single one of us are not elite. We don't have any elite points. And so you can either think, oh, well, elite is for those people. Elite is for, like, you know, the Melanies and the Megans, and like, you could think that, or you can be like, oh, I'm in the same position as Melanie Mitro and she's going to do it. Why can't I? Because it doesn't matter year after year. Elite means you are creating new growth. You're duplicating systems. You're helping new people. So it doesn't matter if you've done it before. You don't get to just sit back and be like, did it, and you're there, right? Like, you have to keep going. So that's a level playing field. And if that doesn't light a fire under your ass, like, I don't know what will, right? Like, I want it so bad I can taste it. And so that means that you have to get down to the nitty gritty details, right? You guys, map it out. Map out. I don't care if it says Jane Doe, John Doe, like, put some circles out there and be like, okay, like, I got to fill these holes. 2-star, premier. That's the difference. Somebody asked the difference between premier and elite. Premier is 2-star, elite is 5-star, and there's some point differences there too. But set your sights and freaking go for it. Every single day you are doing something. If that's really what you want, you are doing one thing at least to get you closer to that goal. And I will tell you guys, it's nothing more than the 4 vital behaviors. 10x, right? Just like Megan said, like, that's it. That's it. There is no secret. There is nothing else besides inviting, getting people results, inviting them to the coaching opportunity, and then teaching them how to hit Success Club too. Like, that's it. It's just the circle. Hit Success Club, get people results, invite them to coaching, and teach them to hit Success Club. Rinse and repeat every single month. Like, that's it, right? So you just start now. Set your goal. How many coaches do you want to recruit this month? You want to get great results in your challenge groups and pull people from there? Perfect. Run a kick-ass challenge group, right? Everyone is always like, recruit, recruit, recruit. Well, guess what, you guys? You have challenge groups full of potential coaches. Pour into them, right? Pull from there. Believe in them. Teach them to do what you're doing, and you've got the next Megan Blinka on your team, right? That's exactly what you have to do. And it's no different than when you were afraid to start a hard program, when you were afraid to do Insanity and you just worked your way through it. Like, before you recruited your first coach, before you went Diamond, before you went Emerald, like, you have those fears no matter what you do. And either you're going to do it or you're not. So this is no different. You set a goal and you work for it, but you can't just wish for it, just like Chrysanthi said. And I think that you really need to realize that even an elite team, for sure Premier team, I've gone Premier twice now, but it doesn't take a exponentially huge organization to make these things happen. Find 2 or 3 rock star runners and freaking run, you guys. Like, that's really, you get 2 to 3, 4 people getting momentum, working together, building off of each other. Before you know it, like, the first year I went Premier, it was like June, July, I was like, holy crap, like, we might do this thing. And I didn't feel like it because I felt like I needed like this big, huge organization, right? Like, I'm not Melanie. Melanie's the lead. I'm not Melanie. I don't have that organization. But I was building something, and we built it together. And it really does just take taking people by the hand and running with them when they want it to. So just know you have it in you. Every single one of you, if you're on this call, that means you have a tugging on your heart and you're here for a reason. And elite means growth. It means bigger impact. And I don't know about you, but that's all I want to do, right? Is just to make an impact and grow as a leader, as a person, and my team to grow. So I think elite is a perfect goal for that. And if guess what, guys, we've got people on here this year that aren't elite, aren't Premier, and they're still here rocking it, and they're still going to go for it again, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's always good things to be growing and shooting for higher goals.
Mic drop.
I never know when to stop, so you just got to stop me.
No, that was amazing. We have a couple minutes left. Do you guys have questions? Like, any question? I know there's been some getting asked and answered in the chat bar, but truly, like, please ask us. This is our time to explain stuff with you. Mackenzie, I know that you didn't, like, if there's other people that want to, like, share their story or anything, we've got a few minutes left for that too.
I think, like, my advice to you is, I think this business honestly is like 80% mindset and 20% everything else. Because I know for me, like, when I get a goal in my head and I am 100% focused, I tell myself I am going to hit this, and my mindset is spot on. Like, I know without a doubt that I am going to hit this goal. When I went elite last year, I had decided on a Monday, I had till Wednesday to qualify, that I was going to do it. And I was like, you know, for the first time ever, I think, in my business, I 100% believed in myself, in this business, that I'm going to make this happen. And I had a lot of work to do in those 3 days, but I did it. And even this year, I didn't get elite this year, but I did push for Premier. And I decided 2 weeks before qualifications, I'm going to build my husband a diamond. And I knew in my head that I'm 100% going to hit this goal, and I'm going to make this happen. So I really think, like, when you get that, you know, that mindset that you can do this, like, you totally can do anything you want in this business. And I think it really comes down to just believing in yourself, staying positive, keeping your blinders on, staying in your own lane, and not comparing yourself to all of your, you know, amazing friends, you know, who are totally kicking butt. Like, you really have to keep your blinders on and just stay focused on your goal. And even if you're a newer coach here, like, just take it step by step. Like, don't look at elite. Like, you have a lot of small little steps to get to that point. Like, take it one step at a time, but just keep building that funnel and, you know, pumping that well, because it will pay off. I promise you. But keep your mindset strong, do that personal development, and just believe in yourself, and it will happen. but it all comes down to like what you believe in and what, you know, you can make happen, because you can make anything happen that you want to happen. So go for it.
I know a lot of us, like, I think specifically, I think Kelly, Anita, Rachel, actually, I think all of us did this, but like, you can only control what you can control. So don't waste your time trying to drag people along who don't want it with you. Like, I did that for 2 years in my business. I saw potential in so many people, and I wasted time trying to get them to want what I saw in them instead of going out and talking to people about the business. And so when I went Premier last year, I built it myself. I built my second business center, my husband's account, and I helped build a diamond on my other leg. And some of you are like, I don't even know what that means. That's okay, talk to your upline. But like, I did it and I controlled what I could control. But then what happened from that is that created all the momentum for my team this year, because they saw Abby pulled this off. And guess what? I had new coaches sign up with me because I thought, well, we want to be a part of your team. And so don't be afraid just to go for it. And whatever you can control, your account, your husband's account, you hitting Success Club, you just laser focus on that and use the checklist of saying like, okay, they told me my first step is team builder. So I'm going to go look at that and look at the volume. And I'm just going to start tracking stuff. And I'm going to have a call with Mackenzie because she's my coach and she's going to tell me what to do, or go talk to Megan, like reach out to us and we can help you kind of game plan it out. But you can only control what you do. So just go all in on that and believe that you can. And it's going to start inspiring your team to level up. And if it doesn't inspire your team, guess what? It's going to start inspiring people who are watching you, who now want to be a part of someone who has a powerful vision and is going for it. Is there anything else? Any questions? Anyone else want to say anything?
I typed in the chat, Barbara, and I mean it. Like, you guys, just the fact that you're on this call, that says so much about you and your potential to actually do this. Like, you have a head start, and you obviously have the want to and the willpower to show up. So it's just amazing. Go get it.
Awesome. Well, we will absolutely share all of these slides with you guys. We will share the recording. I know I had to watch this like 20 times my first couple years. So we'll share all these in our team pages. Please don't be afraid to reach out to us. Don't be scared to talk to your coach who's on this call and say like, hey, I want to puke to even think about Elite and I still don't understand what it is, but like, help me. Like, we are here to help you guys grow, and we want to be on that stage with you at Summit. We want to be wearing all the special ribbons and roses with you, and we believe in you. So thank you for taking time on a Monday night. We will let you guys go. Crystal, I'm so glad it was helpful. That's great. And you guys just go out and do your vital behaviors, okay? We'll talk. All right, bye guys.